Hank's Look Around Cafe.
Welcome.
Welcome back. Awful glad you could join me today.
The show's gonna be funny.
All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of YuSkool. To all who shall see these present greetings. Today is Tuesday, 228 days until Christmas. This show will start in the matter of 10, 9, 5, 3, 2, 1, 0. And this is episode number 74. Allow me to introduce myself. Sitting at home plate, it is I, the Turkey Machine, Al Baby, Reverend Al, Sweet Al, Al Pastor, DJ Sticky Buttons, Gorilla Paw, Storm and Norman, etc., etc. All names that I've given myself except for Storm and Norman. So we are going to Ghost Runner on first, and we're going to introduce Bones. Bones is via Zoom. Welcome, Bonies.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't be there in person, but that's all right. It's gonna be worth it.
You're here in spirit. Bonies, what are you drinking?
Water. I'm hydrating.
Nice. I forgot to mention what I'm drinking.
Events from today and for tomorrow.
I forgot to mention what I'm drinking. I'm having a glass of wine. Some Frey Brothers, I believe it's called. Pinot.
Yeah, out of your schwanky decanter.
Yeah, Pinot Grigio.
Very nice.
Nothing but the best.
No, Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir. Okay, so
Catch it.
Bones is at second base. We have a Ghost Runner on first. We're going over to third base in scoring, or Bones is in scoring position, but Hank's also in scoring position. All the way up from Santa Barbara, California, Mr. Hanky Panky.
Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast.
Excited to be here. Very excited. Excited especially because it's Storm and Norman's birthday.
It is. That's true. Let me see if I got that.
Yeah!
I do have it handy. I had it handy.
Cheers, mate.
And Hank came bearing gifts as well. He brought homemade brew, and an 18-pack of what I call a suitcase of Coors Light. And so it's in the refrigerator. It's ready to be consumed. It's just that I'm working on the wine right now.
Excellent.
So.
No, you got to do it, especially with your new decanter and your aerator on the top there, just asphyxiating the wine.
Yes.
In a great way.
Yes, with this new decanter. Bones, are you familiar with a decanter?
Yeah, sure, why not? I usually drink my wine quick enough that I don't need to use the decanter. I like to just chug it out the bottle, you know. Give me a nice handle of wine and a cooter board. You know, I keep it classy.
Cooter board, nice charcuterie board. That is the new trendy thing for the wives to do. So
it's true. I've seen it.
Nice cooter board.
Actually, our very own Sherper is she's been posting all kinds of cooter boards on her Instagram. She's really taken over.
What's her let's plug that. What is it again? Labrie charcuterie or something like that?
Ooh,
I don't know. You want to look it up while we're doing this?
Yeah, look it up really quick. But
I gotta say, I brew beer. I brought you some homemade beers as well. But there was a point in time where I was trying, and Clayton might remember this, trying to put beer in a wine bottle and cap it and call it a Clayton and distribute a new type of beer in a used wine bottle. And it just failed miserably. But it was
Didn't work?
Didn't work. No, it didn't work.
So what was the process? You brew beer and then you put it in a wine bottle and then you cork it?
Correct. That would be the idea. And then you have to cork it with some kind of a what you have is like a Belgian ale where there's a wire contraption, sort of like a champagne bottle, because you have air pressure. It's going to push the cork right out otherwise. And so there had to come with some kind of Dutch manufactured thing that I tried to do around a wine bottle. But essentially, like the ones that I brought you, they're capped. So the cap holds in the air pressure, but a wine cork would just pop right out.
champagne style is what you're talking about.
Exactly. And there's some Belgian ales you'll have that have like the weird fancy wine cap, but they'd always have one of those in a wine bottle, and it was called a Clayton because this guy would always chug wine straight from the bottle.
Bones, you did that?
What's that?
Drink wine straight out of the bottle?
He was just saying he did. He totally does that.
Oh yeah, it happened at Hank's wedding.
Oh, I thought you were kind of.
We actually broke into his house, stole wine he had in his closet
for the
me
wedding.
and Mikey, because we ran out of booze.
I thought you were just trying to be funny. I didn't think you actually did that.
Oh no, that's a real thing.
No, it's a real thing.
It's not how it start off my evening, but I'll end a good evening like that.
That's like a wedding ender right there, like you said, doing it at Hank's wedding.
It was a wedding dinner that you just drink it straight from the bottle on the beach. Like
I don't know if Carrie was real happy with us after that, but
she didn't even know, man. It was more me. I was the one with the wine. I don't know.
He had to pay for your tux because it had purple wine all over it.
That's right.
Sand and wine, red wine. I've been in that
situation. It had a lot of holes. It had holes in the knees because I kept sliding across the dance floor too. That tends to happen as well.
Was it Men's Warehouse? They're not.
Oh, for sure.
They're not very forgiving.
No, not at all.
I've done that a couple times at a wedding though. Bartender says last call for alcohol, and you're left in a situation where either I stop drinking and go to bed, or I see all these open bottles of red wine right here.
What are you gonna do?
Game on, grab and go.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like 10 o'clock at night still.
Oh.
It's still too young.
There's different conditions. Today I wouldn't do that.
Some of the best nights are when you saw the sun come up the next morning. I'm not saying all of those were the best decision, but there were a few where it was worth it.
I would say.
So anyways, go ahead.
That never ends good for me.
Yeah.
Perfect. I just got the thumbs up saying that dinner's ready, but we'll keep rocking. We got all the ways. Henry, how was the drive up?
It was good. It was long. It's a long drive. There's not a lot of shortcuts between Santa Barbara and Northern California. You're stuck on the 5 for a good 4 hours either way.
How was the weather when you left?
Oh my gosh! So I was telling these poor Ripponites. I was sitting in the coastal misty weather this morning. I came outside to take my dogs out to the grass, and it was wet on the ground, like you have when you go outside. And I had to put a sweater on. I go outside, and I'm getting wet just being outside. But there's no rain. It's just that heavy mist, coastal weather. And so this morning at maybe 10 o'clock, I get in the car with that foggy weather, at the sweatshirt on, jeans, shorts, and I just start driving up here. And 5-6 hours later, I get to Ripon. It's 92 degrees, and my 62 air conditioning befuddled me as I got out of the car and was just sweltering. I was just started sweating. I'm like, I got to take this off. What is happening? What is this? This is a joke, right?
There's no marine layer here.
No, it was the car fooled me.
Welcome home.
Yeah, right.
How's your marine? You're in the marine layer right now. How's your marine layer going?
This morning it was quite foggy actually, so I picked up a day of overtime outside Hollister, and basically from there all the way into the beautiful Salinas Valley, we were pretty much fogged in. I don't think the fog really even burned off till like probably 11 o'clock, 11:30. So
ooh, I'm jealous.
But then it was nice and hot. So
I'm jealous of that. I love that.
Oh yeah. That morning fog, a little misty. It's a good time.
Both of you guys.
Oh, he's in the Central Coast now. That's good. You're right in the zone.
What is...
anyways, I looked it up. It's, you were right. La Brea Charcuterie. Labrie. So if you're on Instagram, you can check that out.
So it's pronounced La Brie.
Like brie cheese.
La Brie Charcuterie. That's a family name, if I'm not mistaken. So
all right.
La Brie Charcuterie. Everyone go check out La Brie Charcuterie. Give them a follow. Or order a cooter board from her. I'm sure she'd be happy to whip up a cooter board. She's got a nice spread on that cooter. So
good old spread. Good old cooter spread.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make that dirty.
Some fine cheeses.
Hey, and you could enjoy a glass of red with that cooter board. A little salami and cheese. So,
Hey, so can we just jump? Should we jump right into it? Are we going to go there?
jump
Go
right
there
in,
right now.
Jump right into it. I'm
Go
winging
there.
it. I got 0 topics tonight.
Yeah, we went straight from cooter board to whatever you want to go to, man. I'm in for anything.
I have 0 topics planned for tonight. So,
Well, today is a big day.
It is a big- it's bigger
in the
than a big
history of mankind. This is your last birthday before you get old birthday. Correct?
over the
Like
hill.
39. You're still in your 30s, but this is you're pushing it, right?
He's already
So how
feeling it.
did the birthday go? I want to hear about the day.
The birthday went good. I got an early visit from my father. He brought 24 donuts.
Nice. Double dozen.
Yeah, and he didn't skimp out on the donuts, right? He didn't bring like glazed. You know how you could get the glazed and you're like, oh, cool, you got the 75 cents 75 cents donut box, right? No, he went apple fritters, the big cinnamon roll twist. He went the maple bars with stuff on top of it. No bacon. He got everything that you could imagine, but there wasn't like, he didn't go on the like cheap rack. He went on the nice rack. So I was impressed. And he knew I couldn't take in 12, so he gets me the 24, you know, just to like, here you go. Here's 24. And so I started it off with the donuts. The kids enjoyed the donuts. Had a couple meetings in the morning, and then a day filled with text messages, calls, happy birthdays, all kinds of good stuff. So I'm truly blessed with a lot of friends that remember my birthday, so that's really cool. Yeah, and now I'm here with you guys. And,
Hey!
And it's 7:30 p.m. I was a little bit of a hot mess from like 5 to now, so like an hour and a half of a hot mess because, well, Hank saw me. I was just kind of like flustered, trying to get stuff done. It was like an organized chaos. How would you describe it?
I was gonna say it's funny. I showed up about 5 o'clock, so I hope I wasn't the contributing factor to that. But no, it was a little scattered. I didn't mind it. It was what it was. You guys are getting organized. It was as if any family would experience at pre-dinner time with kids. Is what I experienced. I was like, should I be helping out right now? Birthday, like where should I be fitting in?
Exactly.
Was my sentiment, but it was very much just that time of night. It wasn't anything unusual to me, but yeah, a little chaotic.
Well, I really wanted to do this podcast, and in order to do this podcast, I had to clean out some SD cards. I had to clean out my computer because it can't hold more than one podcast. So with that being said, I had to finalize podcast 73 with Ed Tilma, and we were talking about hoists and heavies, not to plug that or not. Or
Yeah, it's
then
a
we
good plug.
move
It's a good plug.
into podcast 74 tonight, and I just had to have all that memory cleared out in order to do tonight's podcast. So I had to finish up 73 to get the SD cards cleared, which brings us here right now. And then we hooked up Zoom, which we've hooked up Zoom a few times, so we're kind of getting the gist of it. And we got a new webcam, also a new camera. So
Lots of cameras. 2 more cameras since the last time I was here. You're blowing up.
A total of 3 cameras rocking.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
It's sexy hot.
So we get different views.
I like
You
it.
got to have that different view, you know. The back one to get my rolls on the back of my head.
So what was the donut you had? Of the 24, what was the one you handpicked out?
Okay.
What was it?
I'm a sucker. Okay, I've been a big fan of maple lately, but I've always been a sucker for the cinnamon roll. It's nostalgic, you know. I used to watch my grandpa at the Ripon Bakery get the cinnamon roll. I didn't do this, but he takes a cinnamon roll, puts a thing of butter on it, puts it in the microwave, lets it melt.
Oh yeah.
Holy shamoly. Like, if I'm ready to gain a couple LBs,
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. So I did that, and then I couldn't help temptation, and I peeled off a couple chunks of apple fritter.
oh yeah.
Yep.
Apple fritter is one of my favorites.
Good.
Yeah.
At work, they used to think that was my favorite one, so they'd always order an apple fritter, and it'd be in the box, and everyone's like, "Don't touch that, that's Hank's." And I'm like, that's not my favorite donut. Like, I like the custard filled.
Oh, the custard filled.
There's a couple good ones out there.
The chocolate bar custard filled. Muy bien. Muy bien.
Yep.
They used to call that the Bismarck
Right?
at the Ripon Bakery
There was.
when the Vanderwalls owned it.
I used to get
The
paid.
Bismarck?
The
That's
Bismarck.
interesting.
That's what it was
Bismarck.
called.
I used to get paid by Mike Visser's dad. We'd wash his truck, and then he would buy us both a pint, one of those, the little milk carton you rip open, and you drink out of it like you got it your hot lunch days.
Oh, yeah.
There's a chocolate milk one of those, and then the maple bar custard filled at the Ripon Bakery back in the day. My aunt used to work there. My aunt Linda. I don't know if you remember
really?
that. And she would serve us these too. We would spend all day washing this car. And then he would just give us like $5. Like, here you go have some donuts. And it was
That's worth it.
Oh, it's so awesome.
You know what the best part about that is when they serve the chocolate milk in the frozen cup.
Oh yeah,
That
Right.
cold cup with the chocolate milk. Ooh, I can taste that right now.
right. Little
So-
frog.
In the Ripon Bakery, when they used to have like you could belly up to the bar.
That was what
and
it
you sat,
was.
like, in the 50s diner
Yeah.
seats.
The ones that
how-
was swivel side to side. You
cool
kind of
that
get the
was.
little feel to it.
How cool was it that where the arms go, it was like worn out?
Yeah,
like
totally.
there was the top, but then where people sat and they put their arms, it was all worn out. So you could tell, like, hey, this has been here for a while. There's been a lot of people bellied up to this bar.
Yeah.
You think they ever served any beers in there, like after hours?
I wonder what the hours were on that. I don't know.
You'd have to think so.
Probably.
Getting silly a little bit back there.
That's how it is now.
Maybe on Amma Blossom Day.
Probably.
I was.
And I mean, we were probably 8? We were little when we were there, but it seems like the kind of place where the old guys had their coffee mugs with their names on it behind that bar.
Totally. I was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
say probably whiskey in the coffee mug rather than
Oh,
a
yeah.
beer, right? There was probably something like that where it was like a little shady.
Little Irish coffee,
little 7-7, something like that along the side.
You know how old man Vandersteen likes a little in his coffee? Every Saturday morning, he gets 2 cups of coffee.
Right?
That's the luxury of living in a small town. You get to know.
Yeah.
And you got the Ripon Inn right next door.
Was
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point.
was next door.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were open in the morning, but no Bloody Marys.
They were probably baking right about the time that the inn got out at night at 2 a.m, right? I remember that the donut shops would always be going at 3 a.m. You're like, what are they doing? Oh, that's the time they start getting it ready.
Getting it ready. Yeah. So what do you guys got up your sleeve? You guys got some I see some paperwork over here.
Okay. So a while back ago, a wise man sent me a.
I'll be right there.
I'm Earl.
I don't think he can hear you. Okay. Thank you. So go ahead, Bones. Sorry.
Okay, so a while back ago, a wise man sent me an article, if I can find it here, describing things you can do to improve your podcast, right? You remember this one? Oh,
No.
Here we go. Forbes magazine, 12 invaluable tips for first-time podcasters. This is what you shot over to me.
Okay.
You
So,
shot it to him.
I
so
did?
I don't know anything about
I did
this.
or Hank
You did. You don't even
This is-
remember
this
sending
isn't
that to
me.
me?
No.
I haven't heard of
Yeah.
this at all, so this
Okay.
is all you right now.
I have a horrible memory.
Yeah.
That's the wine talking.
So, anyways, you shot this over, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Well, I assumed that means you read the article. Apparently, you sent it to me saying, hey, I'm not going to read this. Can you read it for me?
do the research
And
here.
we'll,
Tell me what it
I
says.
did your homework. I did your homework for you. But anyways, so 12 tips. Know why you're doing it. Learn from the inside out. Anyways, blah, blah, it goes on and lists the help of an expert. But a lot of it is you have to come up with a brand, right? A logo. Don't mimic somebody else. But anyways, you got to be able to get your name out there. So I kind of took that to heart and said, well, if this is something we're going to do, then let's get the wheels rolling. No more no more dipping our tootsies in the little pool of podcasting. I think we need to go for a full-on backflip. We're all in, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I enlisted the help of your wife. So she is also a part of this. But I brainstormed an idea. I bounced it off her. She agreed. So we put it into play. I contacted a nice man called Janaka, something. I don't know. I can't pronounce it. He's in Sri Lanka. He's a very nice man. Real sweetheart. Kind of speaks English, but it worked out well. And anyways, we bounced an idea off him, and he turned out to create something that I am now desperately in love with. So with the help, and Hanky got to see it, so he was kind of part of it too, and which is why it's fun to do this. So with the help of your wife and myself and Gennaro over in Sri Lanka, we came up with this. So I know you got donuts for your birthday. It sounds like you got lots of text messages and whatever for your birthday, but we here at YuSkool also got you something for your birthday. Here's the general idea. I don't know if this is going to come through. Is it picking it up at all?
I get that. Okay.
Here you go. I got some stickers too.
So how about this? I'm going to get you a better one.
I handed him the stickers.
You got to be kidding me. That is amazing.
We now have our own logo. And I did fact check it because I got a little crazy with the John Candy one. And so it turns out technically that is copyright infringement.
I was afraid of that.
Yeah. So we're hopefully, who's ever at John Candy Enterprises or whatever, they're not going to sue us because we don't really know what we're doing.
Sure.
But to protect ourselves from copyright, it is a close resemblance, but not the exact resemblance of a Sasquatch, which may or may not be from a mid-'80s film. But he's wearing headphones. Yeah. So he's wearing headphones, our very own YuSkool headphones, if you can check that out.
Yeah.
So as long as he's always wearing headphones, that's what differentiates him from looking like a 80s movie guy.
Okay.
But that guy never wore headphones, and our guy will always be wearing headphones. Therefore, you can't sue us anymore because it's different. And that'll hold up in court. I spent many hours of research on that. So as long as he either always has a microphone and headphones, or as long as he always has headphones, we're covered.
I absolutely love this. This is the greatest gift to the podcast ever so far. This is awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love it.
So we also have that in I don't know what an AI file is, but it's an AI file. So it'll do vector images. We can turn it to just black and white, just lines. We can change the colors however much we want. We got everything. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff. So Ashley said you were thinking about doing the blue and kind of like a lime green kind of thing. It's like a color tone. So that's why we did the blues and the greens, but we can swap all that around. We can change it any way we want to.
You guys are the best, man. Thank you. This is like a really heartfelt gift. I love it.
So
we own this?
Now.
So we own this?
We own that. That's ours.
We own this.
It's happening.
Yep.
Absolutely 100% YuSkool
100%
owns this.
So that's what I hired this guy, and it comes as a commercial. So it's a commercial AI file. So that's our image. We own that now.
That is amazing.
So
I love it.
Not too shabby.
Now
we can make T-shirts.
Yes. How did you guys think of this?
Sponsored.
I have ADD. My mind bounces around a lot, so that's what I came up with. I don't know.
I
thought it was cool though, right? Isn't it cool?
Oh, dude, it's so awesome. Like, I knew the John Candy was short-lived, right?
Yeah.
As much as I like the John Candy idea, I knew it was short-lived. So I was just waiting for the point where we have to scrap John Candy and go with something new, but I wasn't sure what new we were going to go with. and you guys nailed it. Absolutely nailed it with Bigfoot podcasting. And I love the microphone. I love the detail, the headphones with the YS on it. I love those colors, green and blue. So that is awesome.
So we can do whatever we want.
I want to get a shirt made with this.
You should.
Yeah. So check it. So I don't know if I don't.
You can get with the AI file. You can just print it on a shirt, any color you want, any color printout. So you can do
that we could do that on a white shirt, or you can do it in white on a black shirt. But we're gonna enlarge those lines, clean everything up. But I mean, I don't know if you guys can even see that if it came through. But
kind of.
Yeah, we have a line image too. So
that's awesome.
We got a lot of new things coming. I have another design that's gonna be kind of similar to this right here.
That's pretty cool.
So we're gonna do a spin-off with the Squatch wearing headphones off that.
That's awesome.
Kind of the California flag with the Sasquatch.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? Like that TNC Surf Shop logo.
Right? Little sex wax style.
Sex wax, circle, yes. But it's my favorite Bigfoot.
So I got to tell you as well, I purchased YuSkool.com.
You did?
Website. And so you need to use that now to start selling some merch and start making that a reality.
You bought it?
It's YuSkool.com. I own that. It's on the. I'll have to share that with you a little bit.
Hey, Mateo!
Look what this guy brings.
He brings a whole handle of vodka too with the cigarettes. It's not just it's not a cigarette delivery.
Marlboro Red 100.
Another secret happening here. Oh, a double
packer.
Double whammy.
I'm getting birthday presents left and right.
Hey, should we take a breaky break? It looks like Merle wants to
eat.
Food time for Pops.
So they're waiting. Yeah. They're waiting for Dad to have birthday dinner with them. So what we could do is take a break, and then we'll eat, and then we can shoot back over to you.
Yeah, just come back.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, happy birthday.
I love it. Thank you. So cool.
Nice.
Okay,
right, let's break.
YuSkool, go to break.
You got some things to move. You call cow freight. Refrigerated or dry food. Cow freight. Pick up the dang old phone and call cow freight.
California Freight, a family-owned and operated business since 1989. Located right here in California's Central Valley. And just like our military, they're serving this country nationwide. Cal Freight takes pride in all their loads, coast to coast, no matter what you need delivered, whether it's food, beverage, dry goods, or anything in bulk. They're making sure that load's delivered on time. Let's face it, your customers are their customers too. So call Cal Freight, 209-599-5418. Hey, it never hurts to get an extra bid.
Call Cal Freight. Cal Freight. You know I'm calling Cal Freight. Call Cal Freight.
Hey everyone, we're here today to talk to you about Row Refrigeration. Row Refrigeration is a California licensed contractor specializing in commercial refrigeration. If you have a convenience store or manage a grocery store and you have walk-in coolers where guys reach in to, maybe grab a 6-pack of sodas or something, but then everything goes wrong and it breaks and nobody wants to come back into your store because your sodas are warm, well, Row Refrigeration would be perfect for you. Or maybe you have a business with ice machines or cold storage, even if you're in the ag industry or restaurant business. Row Refrigeration is your one call to fix all. So give John Rowe a call. Grab a pen, grab some paper. His phone number is 209-483-2814. I'm going to say that one more time. 209-483-2814. He's there for all your refrigeration needs. California license number 1056216. All right, folks, we are back. We just got done with dinner. Me and Hanky Panky had a little dinner.
Thank you, sir.
What did we eat?
I got to say, I was honored to be a guest at the birthday dinner tonight. There was some steak, which I got to say was cooked amazingly well, despite some debacles along the way.
Yes.
And as well as some, I would just call it shrimp scampi. Would you say it was shrimp scampi? Maybe not so, but it was pretty amazing. Some fettuccine Alfredo with some shrimp. The Alfredo sauce was made by McKenna. The sauce was spot on, amazing. I had seconds for sure.
Yeah, no, she did. My 10-year-old daughter did a very good job at making the fettuccine Alfredo. With the shrimp, we had the steak, salad, the whole bit. So,
and it wasn't a jar sauce. I got to say that because I was explaining that at the table. Jar sauce is not okay. She made the sauce herself.
She did.
It was amazing.
Yep. Hey, Bones, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. So I ate 3-day-old orange chicken, and you guys are having steaks and shrimp scampi. That's awesome.
It was so good.
It was delicious.
That's cool.
What'd you do in the hour? Was it an hour? What'd you do in the hour while we were eating?
We were almost at 2 hours there.
Really?
Right? Maybe something.
Was that
I
a
don't know.
2-hour break?
I was in bed. I actually went to bed. I gave up on you guys. I
a little
climbed into
nap.
bed. Yeah.
Looks like you
And then
took,
my phone goes bling, and I went, "All right, I'll get out of bed."
looks like you took your contacts out.
That was about 45 minutes ago now.
Nice. Got the rocking the glasses.
I'm a wild party guy.
You
That's
are.
it.
You got a weight bench right behind you. Back in the
we got
weight
a
room.
nice little gym here. Good little setup. Got the old stress bag right there.
Oh yeah.
You know, so you can either hit it with the old gorilla paws or use your rust checkers and just kind of beat out a bad day.
Nice. So I am back on a
What'd you
CL.
share?
I'm back to normal. I got a CL going.
Excellent.
I'm on a CL right now. I'm taking a little, I would say a little hiatus from the hazy little thing. I've got a collection of beers going over here. These are
You
all
got more than
empties.
one there.
There's 5 empties, and this is a tall boy, and I had another one of these at Cowboy Chris's house, a Kolsch, that's not present. So I'm trying to gauge how much I've had tonight by keeping them all present, but we're not quite rusty status of a 12-pack yet. We'll see if we can get there.
We're not quite there yet. We're getting where we want to go.
Yes.
But I'm not sure if this is going to get me where I want to go.
Oh wow, that might do.
Right? Do you see that? So I called Mary while you guys were gone, and then she's like, "Yeah, so I gave Hank the stickers, but Hank hands me this giant barrel of beer I got to carry back into my eye doctor's appointment." So I was laughing, but then she was like, "No, I'm serious. Look at the size of this thing. That's not your average beer. That's not a 12-ounce can."
No, this
By any
is like a Edward 40 hands.
It's a 22 ounce. They call that a bomber. That's what
Bomber.
they call it, the bomber size.
So I'm going to open it. I'm going to taste it right here.
Oh, go for it.
Right now. Does that mean I have to drink the whole thing?
It's gonna go. You're gonna have to drink it all.
I have to drink the whole thing.
I'll help you. I haven't had any of it yet. This is the
Oh,
first
really?
time. That's the first time. It's
So let's
fresh and easy.
let's explain. This is Hank's homemade brew that he made 2 weeks ago.
So this is originally brewed on 4/19. All right. So I sketched this out on a little sticky tab one on
Yeah,
your
that was
bottle.
Lily's birthday.
And then 4:30 I bottled it, and so technically, I let that bottle secondary condition for 2 weeks, and we're not quite 2 weeks. 2 weeks would be Friday, so I was telling Bonesy's on that he'll probably be right on the money if his wife puts it in the back of the fridge until he gets home on Saturday. It'll be right money. It might be a little fresh now, but it's also a double IPA, so it's going to be a lot more hop heavy than your normal beer. And it's probably going to be a little heavier. Maybe I would even go as far to say an 8 to 9% because of how much it water boiled off. Just shooting a gamut. So 22 ounces of 8% can set you back. We'll see, man. We put it with the collection. We'll have a good time.
All right, so I'm going to open it up right now, I just hope I don't go blind.
It will not happen. I already promised you that. The blindness only happens with the whiskey wood oak barrels. This isn't going to happen with this. This is all glass and stainless steel. You might want to pour it, but if you're going to chug it, you just chug it, man.
Okay, well,
I'm
I'll
impressed.
pour
There
it.
was some foam on there. That means there's at least carbonation happening.
Yes,
The
it did
sugars is
pop.
good.
It did pop. Can I just drink straight out of it, or should I put it in a cup?
No, you drink it. Just be careful because there is active yeast. So the last sip is going to be a little gross.
Active yeast? What does that mean?
So even Sierra Nevada, you look on their bottles and it'll say there's active yeast in the bottle. So you typically want to pour a beer, and the very bottom, maybe a teaspoon, will have a white accumulation, which is the yeast eating the last sugars of the beer, and it's settling down to the bottom, and it's kind of chalky looking, and it tastes awful. You won't get to it until you get to the very end. So unless you're really pounding it heavy and the oxidation's chugging the bottom to circulate.
It won't be
all
his
that.
first yeast infection, so he's fine.
Right. This is true too.
Thank you, Bones, for letting everybody know. Hey, that's good.
Well, that's the best review I've had on this beer.
This is
yet.
actually really good. Here,
Yeah?
taste it.
I'll take a little
It's
sip.
good. It's cold. It's not too much. It's actually really good. It's got a good flavor.
Ooh, that's tasty.
So can we discuss Hank's first beer he ever made?
Of course. I don't think I even heard about it.
So I got a Mr.
Okay, so
Go ahead. You got the story?
how long ago do you think it's been? 10 years?
It was 2008. I got a Mr. Beer kit for Christmas from my brother-in-law,
Okay.
and I
So
made it.
we're going probably right around there.
Yeah, maybe it was 2007 even. I don't know. It was a while ago, and it was too easy. I thought this is way too easy to make beer. I got to do this.
Yeah, but I drive down, but we didn't have a bottling solution yet. So I forget what it was. It was like a beer bottle, or I think we did a wine bottle, but then we put nails in the cork and then tied wire
This is what I was
around the
talking
nails. Do you remember this?
Yeah, that's what I was telling you earlier. I was
Yeah.
saying the Clayton. We were trying to do it in a wine bottle and we would call it the Clayton, and it was because the wine bottle is 750 milliliters. It's a lot of beer in a wine bottle, and
Yeah.
it just didn't.
So-
I could never figure it out. I don't know.
Here's the downfall to that, though, is in the back of, what was I driving at the time?
Probably the
Trying to think.
Ranger, maybe the Ranger or the Mustang.
No. That
Was it the Mustang?
I think it was in the Mustang. So in the back of the Mustang on the way back from Santa Barbara, this stuff is still fermenting, right? So it's building pressure and more pressure and more pressure. And I'm,
Thank you.
middle of nowhere, driving probably Mach 3 down the desert road. All of a sudden it just goes boom, and just beer explodes and just sprays everywhere. And then we realized that cork processing system failed. So we never did that one again. But
The
we
yeast.
tried. We had it. Thought we had it.
What
And
expands
my
the yeast?
Mustang got a severe yeast infection.
Yeah, so when I do the bottling, so it's a 2-stage fermentation process, and the bottling happens in a carboy, which is like a six gallon big drum, and then you take that out and you do a secondary fermentation. If it's either in a big drum if you're going to do kegging, or you put it in a bottle if you're going to do bottling conditioning. And so I put it in bottles, and it's supposed to sit in there for 2 weeks. This is what 2 weeks would be Friday, so we're not quite there yet. We're like 10 11 days. And it's not bad. It's one of those where it will sit on the shelf longer. So if you don't drink it, it's fine. Sit a while, and so it can sit in there and eat away, and the yeast just eats away at the extra sugars and makes it stronger. So if you have it in the shelf for, like if poor Clayton here is at work for another week, it's going to be probably at 11% when he gets home. Like touche. I got a little longer, and I get.
Or the way this fire season's going, I'm going to drink it in August, and I will go blind. So
yeah, it won't get that strong, but yeah.
What? So, is it kosher if I do the old wipe the oil off the nose and put it?
There's
in
a
the
lot of
fuzz?
foam. There's quite a bit of foam, but it will settle down too. Look at that. Look how much foam has settled down into that sucker.
Oh man, I'm already.
And I got to tell you, that's one of the things I gotta still solve is the kegging. I haven't figured out how to combine CO2 and the beer. I only can do the bottling, so I've been able to put it in a CO2 like keg, and then I have forced pressure of the CO2, and it just turns into a bubbly mess. Once I can figure that out,
It's actually really good, Bones.
It's gonna be
I
wonderful.
wish you could taste it. Yeah, it's.
I'm excited.
What would I
My day
say?
is coming.
I would say that. Well, what I'm gonna compare it to is maybe like an Amberbach. Is that about right? I haven't had an Amberbach in a long time, but I would say, yeah, I would assume that's kind of what it's like. Just a darker, good tasting beer. It's not overwhelming though.
No, we're hoping to.
It's not like drinking grass clippings.
No, it's not like drinking. Some of the guys in Iraq, they tried to make booze from the bread and they put in like apples with it. And then they tried to drink whatever was fermenting in a plastic bag, and it was horrible.
Yeah, that sounds.
Those
That's
guys
called
could have
Bruno.
gone.
They make that here in prison. Yeah.
Those guys
That's
could have gone
brutal.
blind from that.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, desperate situation.
we're hoping to launch some kind of label from this. I dropped a couple off at a restaurant in Ripon here, Brothers Restaurant, and so hopefully I can get something going with those guys to do something for their label. Maybe do a Brothers Restaurant brewery, and then start to sell the beer. That would be optimal.
So do you like have a journal where you write down the ingredients and what you did?
Oh yeah, every beer. So I could tell you exactly what went into the beer, and the times that the temperature changed over the course of the brewing process. I got to calculate. I got a book that I do it all in. Every one for the last 20 years is in there. Ever since I brewed, it's all in the same spot.
Do you have a beer that you really, really like?
You know, it's tricky because I like different beers than what I feel like the consumer likes. I like the heavier, hoppier beers, and I feel like people like the trashier, lighter beers that don't take as much to put into it, and it's honestly cheaper to make. You do a lot of adjuncts and a lot of just random stuff, and the beer like this wonderful Coors Light, this probably would cost 30 cents to make.
Really?
And it blows me away that you buy this can here and this wonderful canister for like $1.25. And it's like, so the idea is like push that through in a glass and sell it for $1, and all Dutchmen would jump on in that bandwagon in a millisecond.
Exactly. It's all about saving that money.
Right.
And getting-
Which is what got me into it to begin with, because I realized like I can make more beer at a cheaper rate than I drink it. Let's just do this. This is way easier. It takes a little bit of time on my part, but you know, generally speaking, it's the right method.
I'm impressed. It's actually really good. I'm impressed. I was not expecting.
So when can we expect? I was gonna say, when can we expect your version of the White Claw? I mean, that's what America wants.
You want a seltzer water? Do you want an alcoholic, or do you? I was gonna make a seltzer water that was lavender infused that would put you to sleep, and a hop infused seltzer water that would taste like beer.
Coach Fred, that's right down Coach Fred's alley.
It would just be all like sleep induced. So hops put you to sleep. They used to do this thing in the night in the early 1400s and 1500s. They called it hop pillow, and hops are what you put in beer, right? To preserve it, and they would take just plain hops and put it in a, you know, like a sack, and stick it underneath their pillow, and it would help them go to sleep at night. Similar to what you have like lavender infused essential oils, or what you see the the new generation mom sprinkling on their kids before they go to bed is like a nice way to put them to sleep. These kind of things. Like, well, why don't you drink something that you're trying to wind down? You have a carbonated beverage that's got one of these things that puts you to sleep naturally. That's not got a bunch of alcohol in it, because the alcohol is supposedly bad infusion, but you can do things in the carbonated front that to me would satisfy what I'm looking for on the carbonated beverage. As far as I'm looking for a beer, I'm grabbing that beer, the ice cold carbonated feel. Yes, I'm feeling satisfied, but maybe it would help you relax rather than get you fucked up.
Right.
If you want to call it that.
So would there be any melatonin in it?
It would be natural. If there's melatonin in lavender, I don't know.
Well, there's
that would be
melatonin's a natural. Your body puts off melatonin, so that's right. That's where all that comes from.
I don't know. That's a little bit
True.
over my head. I might have to do a little research on that.
Bones, you know about that, right? I mean, we're no doctors, but you know. About
I take the melatonin gummies. They're delicious. That's all I know.
Well,
But yeah, no, melatonin, right? Your body produces melatonin. That's like your relaxation chemical or whatever. So it kind of gets you to slow everything down, slows your heart rate down, your respiratory rate down, gets you to calm down. So I don't know, find a way to slip some of that into a nice, refreshing beer that doesn't have a bunch of sugar in it, keep you awake all night. Hey, there you go. You got a winner.
Yeah.
I do have a couple.
The other thing we
who-
discussed.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, the other thing we discussed at work the other day was we want somebody to create coffee that hydrates.
Ooh,
Oh.
coffee.
So if you
the
can
old
combine
Diet.
like a Gatorade with the coffee, because the problem with coffee, you want to drink a whole bunch, but then you're out working all day, right? So you're getting dehydrated. So if you can figure out a way to get your caffeine, yet still hydrates you, $1 million idea.
But it's coffee caffeine rather than guarine or these other things that they found that have that stimulant feel, because there's a certain amount of, like, I want dark coffee, like it tastes totally different, and you need that difference to get the kick.
Yeah.
Without the down, like in 2 hours you're down, you're done. That would be huge.
You're a bold coffee guy?
I don't put anything in it. No, they always
you're-
ask me, do you want to have a little sugar? I'm sweet enough, honey.
Did you hear that, Bones?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
Take it dark.
Oh, boy.
Take it dark.
Come on, man.
That's funny. Hey,
Hey, who's pushing the buttons and pulling the levers over there?
can you hear it?
Birthday boy's on the levers tonight.
You can hear it?
Oh, boy.
Yep,
Oh, easy,
we're
Rod.
good.
Nice. How about the background? Can you see the background, Bones? Can you appreciate the background?
I still love the background.
Yeah, we got a little action
still love-
going.
Now we need a large version of our buddy who has yet to receive a name, but I think we need that up there somewhere now.
Yeah, we need to name him.
Who? What are you talking about?
The Sasquatch. We need to name Sasquatch.
Watch.
Sassy, saucy, Squatch man.
Wait for some.
We don't need to get
names,
into it now. I think
Suggestions from our
this,
listeners, maybe.
Maybe some suggestions from the listeners. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe they could pitch in a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Hey, we were talking about.
The other thing
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I was going to say I was going to change the subject. So if you want to talk about what you're going to talk about, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so the other thing we were talking about with those stickers is we should do a thing where you can get a sticker for free, but you got to come up and find us and somehow do a shout out like, hey, I'm a member of the YuSkool universe. Oh, cool. There's your sticker. Boom. But you got to do something. We don't just hand them out for free.
True.
You got to, well, we do. I guess that's exactly what we do. But
I can't wait to make shirts because that's going to be a cool logo on the shirt.
Well, once you're ready
Yeah,
to
we need
make
shirts.
that cricket shirt, you only have to make one, and you could sell merchandise on the site, and people custom order to go,
One at a time.
one at a time.
Yeah, I like that.
Handcrafted
Yeah.
by Big Al, the Turkey Machine, Gorilla Paw,
Al
Al
Pastor,
Pastor, Reverend Al.
Gorilla Paw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
All names that I've given myself except for Storm and Norman.
for
What's that
one.
you say there? You get that
So
part.
where I was going to go earlier was being with Hank reminds me of the summertime in 1999 probably when we hit 20 swimming pools. Right? We hit 20 swimming pools in one day.
Yep.
And these were not like 20 swimming pools that we were invited to.
No,
These were 20 swimming pools that we invited ourselves to.
These are 20 swimming pools we knew of.
Yes.
And we drove to, knocked on the doors, and said, "Can we jump in your pool?" 3 times, and then we'll leave. We're not here to harass you. And we get some funny looks from some of them. Some of them be super excited because they'd spent about $200 that month cleaning their pool, and no one has used it. So they're like, "Yes, please come and be the ones."
Yes.
And it was pretty epic.
And a couple times we even jumped over the fence. Like Hank would look over the fence, see, ooh, the neighbors have a swimming pool too.
This is true.
Anybody
This
around?
is a shady, but it's true.
Jump over the fence, jump in their pool, jump up, back over the fence. And I'm not I don't remember the owners of the swimming pool that we asked to be in. I would think that they were kind of upset about that. Like, hey, you just jumped the fence into my neighbor's pool, jumped back over into my backyard, and now you're walking.
There was no cover. No one was watching what we did. They literally let us in and go have my pool at your leisure. And they knew we would be gone in less than 10 minutes. They didn't really pay attention to what we were even doing in the backyard. And we were very focused on the pool anyways. So granted, that was not a reason for them to cause any worry.
And this was in the days before everybody had video cameras.
Oh, totally. Wow, we'd have been in so much trouble.
But they still had German Shepherds back then.
Yeah.
So we're lucky we didn't get chased by a German Shepherd.
I'm sure it happened, and we don't remember it.
Yeah. Hey, Bones, are you seeing us still?
No, I lost your video.
Okay. So we still got yours at least.
Is that a picture of you?
But I can hear you guys.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's me right there. But yeah, so that reminded
And
me.
I will give credit to the Beneldrins because I think we attempted this multiple times, and every time they were down to let us swim in their pool.
Yeah, they had it
So-
down. Grace was great.
Grace was great. She'd be like, "Oh, you guys are doing it again? How many you getting this time? We're shooting for 20. Okay, good luck."
Yeah, we had a few like that. It was pretty epic. I don't know. We got really lucky. Great town we grew up in. I don't think you could do that in the Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley without some kind of police encounter.
No, you definitely couldn't get away with that.
No, I will. That is a I guess a tribute to what kind of community Ripon really is saying 3 random kids that kind of go to, well, that one goes to my church and those are his friends, but we were all kind of split up, but just to let you run around and be a kid and do something silly. And everybody in the neighborhood was game for it. So I shouldn't say neighborhood. We drove all over we were out in the country. We were driving miles and miles.
Yeah, we were getting as many done as we could in one day. That was the goal.
You know why we were probably getting away with it? Was because we had Hank with us, and he was the star of the basketball team at the time. So that's probably why people are like, hey, they let the stars of the basketball team get away with that kind of stuff, where us volleyball players, they weren't going to let that fly.
You're gonna play beyond.
I was gonna say you
I
don't
wasn't the
think it was
star of the
because you were,
volleyball team.
All-state
What do you
99? You were an all-state volleyball player. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but that was way after you guys. That was a year after you guys were out.
Everyone had their year.
That's true.
Everyone had their year. Everyone had their year.
And we had a couple other participants, but
I was pretty critical in ruining Scott Phillipson's career in volleyball by slipping my foot under his foot apparently while he jumped up and wrecked his ankle.
oh, you gave him the old
I don't know what you call that.
broken ankle. What is that? You just roll an ankle. Roll an ankle. You're out for your career.
He landed on my foot, and I moved my foot, and that was the end of his day.
Poor guy. He was probably not wearing high
I
tops.
took his place in that front lineup.
Oh,
blocking all
strategic move.
kinds of, maybe.
That's funny.
Maybe.
All right, Bones. We'll let you get going.
Okay, cool. Well, happy birthday, my man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate the YuSkool stickers. I appreciate the YuSkool copyrighted picture.
And if we know of anybody, or if anybody's listening right now that knows how to work on an AI file and they're computer savvy, get a hold of one of us somehow, because we're going to want to do some stuff to it. And I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I've been messing around with it and I don't know. So if there's somebody listening that knows how to do it, wouldn't mind changing it back to black and white for us, give us a call.
Hey, do you got some allergies going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just I've been working literally every day for like 2.5 weeks. My body's just kind of shutting down. It's telling me it's time to take a break. So we'll see. I got 1 more week to go. I'll get off hopefully Friday night. So we'll see.
All right, buddy. Well, be safe out there.
Yeah, we got a beer waiting for you when you get home.
I'm very excited. Very excited. All right. See you guys. Good night.
See ya. Good night.
Yeah, much love.
Well, let's just take a little break.
Okay.
I'll go turn that off, and then we'll come back. We'll come back in just a little bit. We got a couple hot topics we want to talk about. I see Hank has a bunch of stuff written down we want to get to, so
It's going to be juicy.
YuSkool, go to break. Out. This show is brought to you by Grossi Electric. Grossi Electric Inc. strives to provide customers with quality service for all electrical automation and design needs. The scope of their projects include, but are not limited to, irrigation, agricultural and food processing, packaging, solar energy, and everyday electrical solutions. With a wide range of customers throughout California, Grossi Electric is your go-to source for all your electrical and automation needs. Grossi Electric is located at 2020 Main Street in Escalon. Office hours are 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Give them a call at 209-821-6733.
At Grossi Electric, they strive to provide.
Hey everyone, I am here to tell you about a business owned by my good friend John Hyder. It's called Silo Hill Web. Silo Hill Web is a web design and internet marketing agency in the Treasure Valley of Idaho. They offer everything from custom web design to social media marketing. It doesn't matter if you live in Idaho or here in California. Silo Hill Web can help you succeed in the digital marketing landscape. Check him out at www.silohillweb.com.
All right, folks, we are back. Welcome back to YuSkool. And it's me and Hanky Panky, Hank Postma. And he is in charge of this third segment this evening. So take it away, Hank. It's all yours.
Yikes, that's a lot of power. I'll do what I can. I don't know. I thought I would have a couple comments on the Big Al birthday. Big Rev Al. Big 39? Is it 39 this year? Is the big 39?
39, that's what it is.
That's a huge number, man.
Yeah.
That's a great accomplishment.
Yeah. No, the 39, it's a good number. I mean, we're almost there to 40, but hey, I'll take it. I'm feeling good. I don't know if I look good, but I'm feeling good. You know, I'm right there. I don't feel like I'm peaking yet, but we're getting there. So yeah. So it's all yours, man.
Awesome. Well, before I jump into this 39 questions that I put together for you on the drive up here, I wanted to say, because I'd been looking into tonight's date, 5/11, before I knew the great history of this date, and I was looking at the number 511. Apparently has some meaning if you look into it yourself, and I encourage all listeners to do this. It apparently has a personal freedom, which is a biblical basis of 511, and it's a day that you should look into expressing your personal freedom, chasing your personal goals, looking for that extra self-impact influence, if you want to say it. So I would say there's a little pinpointer plug for looking into that 511 yourself, especially because it's your birthday. You should do a little digging yourself on that one.
Yeah. Just did it.
Nice. Well, I was saying I got 39 questions, and I don't think I could probably pass this to you to ask, because they're kind of scribbled pretty roughly, because I did them on the drive here, which is probably recklessly dangerous. So I broke them into about 4 categories. I would say that they're first, how many, last, favorite, and would you rather. Okay. So do you have anything you want to start with on those when you hear them?
Well, the first though, I think it went over my head. What was the biblical on 511? Did you explain that?
I couldn't find an actual biblical verse for it, but there's plenty of, when you Google 511 meaning, there's plenty of references to biblical meaning behind 511, and it's all about personal freedom, pursuing your personal freedom and discovering yourself.
Okay.
And so I don't want to divulge too much into the meaning of that, where they're pulling the different Bible verses from it. I don't know all about where those derivatives and whatnot are coming from, but I would say look into that.
Okay.
It's pretty cool that that's the meaning behind it. Didn't have enough time to give you that full background, but 511, personal freedom, I thought was pretty cool based upon the meaning here and just where that's coming from. There's a lot of...
I will check it out. Like, I'm hoping like there's a Bible verse like John 5 verse 11 that it's just like, if your name's Big Al and you call yourself the Turkey Machine...
I hope so too. I didn't see anything like it. I was looking for that like up plug so I can quick pull these different numbers, Proverbs 5:11, whatever. But there was nothing like that jumped out off the Google search. So.
I'll look into the King James version.
Look into it, man. Let me know on the next episode for sure.
I'll Google it. Nice, thank you. Nice research, by the way. Nice knowledge.
Yeah, it's a good one. I thought, especially you'll appreciate that one down
so
the road.
So you didn't cause any car accidents on your way here writing this down?
No. So I had a couple. I saw some pretty, the 46 in between the 5 and the 101 between Paso Robles and Kettleman City. People who've driven it know there's a lot of passer buyers. And I saw some pretty reckless driving, and I thought, oh, that was me like 6 years ago.
Did you happen to see where James Dean?
I did. I pass that every time. Do the little whatever.
Shout out to James Dean.
Shout out
JD.
to James Dean.
There's a tree right there that they say is the tree that he hit, or
I don't know.
Or there's just a
didn't know
memorial
that.
tree.
I always think it's the intersection between the 46 and the 41.
Going down to Paso.
It's right in between there. The Cholami or whatever the name of that little town is. It's right in there.
Right.
Yeah, I think about it every time.
Sure.
You're driving about 80 miles an hour, so it's about a 5-minute stretch. Oh, James Dean, and then you're past it anyways. Whether it's the tree or it's right in there.
Right.
You're in the zone.
Or the break where people always stop and take a little break, and
hopefully,
yeah,
if they need it.
All right, hit me with the 39. I'm eager. I'm more than eager.
All right, so we're gonna hit these. I hope these are okay, and I try to do the best I can and space them out. So I might skip around from front to back page. So here's the first one, and let me know if you can shout this. Some of these might be hard to pull back the recollection because it might be over 20 years in the past.
Oh no!
Now that we're hitting this age. All right, so the first one is going to be a first. We're going to do it the first time that you smoked or drank.
First time I smoked cigarettes,
yes. Any kind of imbuing into the lungs or liver, if you want to call it that. You the one you can pick that you can remember, because, like I said, that might be 20 years plus.
The first cigarette. Okay, so there's two firsts. There's the first time I tried smoking a cigarette, and there's the first time I just tried smoking.
Okay.
We rolled up a bunch of walnut leaves, and we smoked them behind my grandpa's barn, like when I was...
We want to incriminate anyone else?
No, I'm not going to... Well, it was one of my cousins, and I think Johnny Van Inhuizen was with me. The cigarette part, that was... I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I was down at Ammon Valley Church. They got this weird section of stairs that goes down to the bottom. There's a basement down there, and that's the basement entry. So we crawled down there. There's probably 4 or 5 of us. It was during maybe finals one year, and that was the secret spot to go hide and smoke a cigarette, because none of us had a vehicle. None of us were of driving age, so we just walked there from school. Somebody had some cigarettes. It was me and 2 or 3 other guys, and I smoked probably half a cigarette, and it was excuse me, keep burping. It was disgusting, to be honest with you. It was a Camel wide.
Ooh,
and I probably had 3 or 4 drags, and it was really gross to me. But it was they were holding the cigarettes in a Wilhelmina box, like the Wilhelmina mints.
Oh, the mints, yeah.
So it kind of had a Wilhelmina minty flavor to it. So
menthol camo.
And after that, it was just kind of dabbled here and there until I was 18 years old. That was probably a freshman in high school.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my cigarette smoking experience. There was a couple other times where I was smoking where I probably knew I shouldn't have been. Ultimately, I knew I shouldn't have been. I was questioned about it from my mom, but she never put too much pressure on me. She just like left it alone. She's like, "Were you smoking?" No, I was around this guy. He was smoking. Oh, okay. No problem. So left it alone with that.
Cheers.
Yeah.
All right, let's do another first time. First time you went on a date.
Oh my goodness. Like a date?
What
Like
you
a
considered a date in your mind, in your lifetime, you were thinking, okay, this is a date. I'm going on a date tonight. This is the date.
Well, to be honest with you, I was in third grade, and I talked to my parents I had an older neighbor.
Okay.
And he had just gone on a date with some friends. And what they did was they went in a group of 4, and they went to what was the name of that place? Dairy Queen in Ripon.
Sure.
And they went and got blizzards.
Oh,
and so I was in third grade, and I organized a whole entire like date with this girl in third grade. And I asked her, "Hey, you want to go get blizzards?" And my parents kind of found out about it. Well, they were going to find out about it because I needed a ride. And so I ended up not even getting a ride from them. I rode my bike there, and they met me there, and they had dinner with me, but they let me sit with my date. And they sit a table over. And my parents were not too excited about that.
Wow. But big moves in third grade.
I was just trying to be like the older neighbor.
I wouldn't be excited about my third grader doing that either, to be honest with you.
No, I was jealous of my neighbor, but would I let my daughter do that in third grade? Absolutely not. I would not let her do that. Nor would I let my boys do that. But yeah, that was my first date. I'd love to say her name, but
leave it anonymous. I was gonna follow up with the first kiss because I thought maybe that would be the follow up with the first date, but I might give you the pass. You want to pass on the first kiss?
There was no first kiss on that date.
Well, obviously, but I'm talking about your first kiss.
First kiss. I already talked about this on the podcast a long time ago with Bones. It was with Kelly Pasma.
Oh, my cousin.
In Mount Hermon. Your cousin?
She's my fourth cousin.
Oh, you're.
I don't even know why I know she's my fourth cousin. Fourth shouldn't be something you know about.
Right.
That's a horrible upbringing for sure. Okay. Yeah,
it was in Mount Hermon. And I was in 7th grade.
Okay.
Going into my 8th grade year.
All right. Let's move on to the next one.
She was in your grade, so she was she was a freshman in high school.
That was moving up for you. That's good.
Oh, big dog.
Wow.
Yeah, we talked about that. Bones had his first kiss, and Fred Bonnell had his first kiss, which
I didn't hear about the Fred Bonnell. Was that the Audra?
Yes.
That he always talks about that Bones contests?
Yes.
Because I heard he wants to get Audra on to contest. We'll digress on that.
Audra would like to contest.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
So you got to get Coach Fred on here.
Yes.
And apparently Audra would like to zoom in and tell him that they never even kissed.
I would love to. I would love to see
completely.
This. I would love to see.
I think that might be the next Bones podcast. You'll have to set that up. The next one for you is first residence out from family or military. So not when you're living with your family or not when you're living in the barracks, but first place that you lived that was outside of living with a family member or military, obviously.
Well, a week after I graduated high school, I got a job at Mount Hermon. So does the apartments there count? Because I was 18 and I moved out to Mount Hermon, which was a summer camp. And then as soon as summer camp ended, me and 3 other guys from the summer camp got a place in Mount Hermon, our own place. Me, a guy named Paul, and a guy named Micah. I have not talked to those guys since. I randomly ran into Micah at Red Robin in Manteca probably 8 years ago, but have not
That is random.
Yeah. We happen to be placed so you get seated. I got seated at the table next to him. He's from Woodland, and he just happened to be eating there. So that was my first place. Second place was your parents' house.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I rented that house from your parents, right next door to your parents' house. That was my second place when I moved home.
Excellent. All right, next one is first car.
First car I bought in the year 2000, May of 2000, was a 1986 Volkswagen Jetta. Yep, 4-cylinder. Nothing special. I was all excited about it. I put, I put a roof rack on it, a Thule roof rack. I was all pumped up about it. I put like Billabong stickers all over it. It was pretty dorky looking back at it, but that car actually, I believe my brother drove it for a few years and my sister drove it for a few years. Then Scooter drove it for a few years. And then I don't know what happened. I think I turned it into like pick and pull after that, but 3 other people got at least 2 years on it where they could drive it for a while. So it was kind of like I bought another vehicle, kept that vehicle, and then it would just stayed in the family for a while. So, yeah, 1986 Volkswagen Jetta. It was a piece of S. It had all kinds of electrical problems. I mean, from front to back, the wires would just melt together. But yeah, I paid $3,000 for it in May of 2000.
Wow, that's a steal.
Yeah.
I'm going to switch categories on you because we're talking about driving. How many times have you crashed while driving? While driving, not in the passenger or the backseat.
Crash?
Crashed your car. Even a fender bender is okay. How many times? Like, we're looking for a full count. Best story you can tell, but...
Okay.
Driving. Like, how bad of a driver are you?
Me driving. Shoot, I don't have too many good crash stories. The other day I got hit by some guy dropped this big chunk of metal on the highway, and it hit the side of my car, or my truck, my work truck, but I don't really have any very good. I take it back. I do have one. I was pulling out of Old Town one time, and I was pulling out of Old Town. The way the road is, there's a stop sign. There's a 4-way. There's a highway, and then there's a stop sign. Dude ran the stop sign as I was pulling out of Old Town about 5 p.m. on a Friday afternoon, and he T-boned me. So I told him, we stopped. I told him, you owe me money. So he said, let me go cash my check. I just got paid. Barely spoke any English. So I followed him to Rapona Market. He cashed his check. And then he said, come with me. I'll give it to you. So I followed him, and we got like on this high-speed pursuit all around. Like he was trying to ditch me. And he was running stop signs. He was running stop lights, the whole thing. Driving all around like crazy, going 85 miles per hour. And finally I caught up to him because he got stuck at 120. So I caught up to him, got to his house. I was about ready to kick his ass.
Right.
And he ended up giving me $500 right there. But it ended up costing me probably $1,000 to get it fixed. But yeah, he T-boned me. And I was sober as could be. Nothing in my system. Just coming out of Old Town. I was meeting somebody there, and we got done talking, and T-bone. Boom. Right in the side. And it stayed like that for about a year, but yeah. That was my one big accident. Nothing too crazy after that, thankfully.
How many jobs have you had?
Since when?
Employers.
Since out of high school.
Since life began.
Okay, so since life began?
You can't include your dad paying you or your grandpa.
No, in 7th grade I changed sprinkler pipe.
We're counting, like how many?
8th grade I changed sprinkler pipe and picked peaches.
Same employer, right?
Different guys.
Okay.
2 different guys. I was a hustler. I was trying to get
7th
sprinkler
and 8th
pipe.
grade, that's good.
7th grade, changed sprinkler pipe. 8th grade, changed sprinkler pipe for a different guy. Picked peaches. Then I worked for my grandfather, which I don't know if that counts, but he had a full business. Worked for him all through high school. And then went to Mount Herman. Then I came home. I went to Flying J, which sucked. Then I went to Sears in Manteca. And then I joined the Marine Corps. And then I joined the company that I'm with today and been with them for this January will be 20 years.
Wow. So we're looking at 10, though. That's the finger counting was about 10.
About 10 employees.
Okay. How many other countries have you been to?
Countries.
Not including the United States. What are the ones? Count
Mexico
them up.
count?
Mexico is a different country. So yes.
Mexico, Canada, Iraq, Germany, Thailand, Korea, Japan. Did I say Japan?
7 so far.
I think that's it. Seven-ish.
That's good.
Yeah.
Wow. How many tickets or arrests have you had? I don't know how severe the tickets get, but
Tickets, probably 4 total in my life. Arrests, probably 3. Wow. 3 arrests.
Okay.
Never on formal probation, just informal probation. But my last one was my last one.
Okay.
I learned my lesson on the last one.
I'm gonna jump back to the last. I had 2 more firsts on this first page. First firearm or knife that you've owned in your life.
For BB gun count?
No.
No.
I mean, does that count as a firearm?
No. First knife I got was from my grandpa Schuling when I was like in 4th grade. It was his buck knife.
Yeah.
I wish I still had that. I don't know what I did with it. I think I lost it in the move. But firearms, let's just say, I bought a shotgun. I bought a Remington 870 Express when I was 20 years old, I believe.
Okay.
It's a shotgun, just a regular old shotgun.
Big 5 special.
Yeah, nothing
Probably
too crazy.
Not, I don't know.
Yeah, it was like a $350 gun.
Right.
Nothing too crazy. A black one, flat black. Good shotgun. Never got to shoot it a whole lot because I had to turn my weapons into the DOJ. Said I had to turn them in, so that had to do with the last arrest.
Okay. No elaboration on that.
I have not gotten that expunged yet.
So the first on the first page is the first fight, which should be the first altercation as young as you can remember.
4th grade.
Okay. This is good.
A guy named Josh Goodall.
Okay.
We were at Colony Oak. We were playing jump rope. Didn't like the way he was handling his rope. He kept doing it on purpose to like hit me in the head.
Oh yeah.
And I had my last straw. I snapped, and I just started punching him as much as I could. I remember running up to him and punching him, and there was some other stuff. There was some words said and some pushing back and forth, but it ended up being a punch. It was a horrible feeling, though, because my mom had to come pick me up from school. I got suspended for 1 day, and I was crying like the whole way home, like trying to tell my mom that he deserved it, so that way I wouldn't get in trouble from my dad when he got home from work. So I just had to justify it as much as possible. I still got in a lot of trouble, but I was sticking up for myself. This dude was a year older than me, and he was kind of being a bully. So
Sure.
I just let him know the old turkey machine wasn't going to take it anymore.
Right. Good
So
for
I
you,
just
man.
give him the old 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I don't even think I was connecting with his face. It was like he turned, put his hands over his head, and it was like I was punching the back of his head type of thing. But yeah, that was the first real fight that I got into.
All right. We'll move on to a new category now. Lasts. We'll call this lasts. Last time you completed or competed. Apologies. My bad writing here. Last time you competed athletically, which means having a ref, all right, with a ref, where you're in a game athletically competing against multiple, one-on-one's fine, but with a ref.
We were on a city law ball team, and there was umpires there.
All right. What year was this?
This was probably 2006, 2007.
Okay, yeah.
We were in multiple different. No, take it back. It was probably 2012.
Right.
Was the last one. It was a church league softball team out at in Manteca at the, what is it? Anyways, there's a big softball league out there, and that was probably the last league I played in.
2012. Okay.
No, I take that back. That wasn't in Manteca. That was in Ripon at Mifflin Park.
All right. The old fountains.
Yep.
All right. Last pet. I don't know if you have a pet.
Last pet. So I have a cat named Waylon right now.
Oh, that dog, she's following me around. I'll rub him up on my leg.
Yeah, he's a good cat. I'm not a cat guy. I never was a cat guy. And then we started getting a lot of mice in the garage. And I was setting a lot of sticky traps, a lot of mouse traps. But you know what I was catching? Lizards. All lizards.
Interesting.
I would catch 4 or 5 sticky lizards on a sticky trap. I would even catch them on the mouse trap. And so I didn't want to keep killing these lizards, which I didn't really care, but it was a pain in the butt. And my kids were like, can I get this lizard? And they wanted me to take these lizards off. So we ended up just getting rid of the sticky traps and the mouse traps. And we got a cat. And the cat ended up cleaning a house in the garage to the point where I don't have any more mice in the garage. I don't have any mice on the premises. That's one of the greatest things about a cat that I never knew. But the cat can work for you. The cat can keep your rodent population way down. I never was a cat guy, but I had a dog before that named Buster. Before that, I had a dog named Augie, a pit bull. Before that, I had a Chihuahua named Chico. All pains in the ass.
Cats have been the best, huh?
Cats has been the best so far.
That's great.
Yeah.
Next one is last. I call it last meal request, right? You're on death row. We finally caught you for all those crimes you committed, and this is your last meal before you get the what is it? I don't know if California does that, electric chair or whatever.
Yeah.
What's the last meal? You get one meal request, last meal.
All right, I'm getting a double Western bacon cheeseburger, crisp cut fries. I'm getting fettuccine Alfredo with shrimp like we had tonight. I'm going to have oysters. I'm going to have pesto, butter, and garlic, minced garlic on the oysters with a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top of it. Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
And for dessert, I'm probably going to do a regular cheesecake from Costco with a little bit of caramel and vanilla ice cream.
All right. Well, I have a favorite dessert on the coming up on, and we'll see if that's what it is later.
Okay.
It might be the same one. So
this is my new favorite dessert, by the way.
All right. So the next one I have on the last category is last time you made out in a car.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, a car, like a car.
A car?
A car, like a vehicle, right? Last time, Ashley might not be listening.
I don't know if that was actually. I've made out. The last time I made out in the car was with my wife.
Probably, right?
When we were dating.
Okay. When's this? When was this time?
This was probably 2005, 2006. There was probably alcohol involved.
Okay.
And we were probably dropping her off at her parents' house. Yeah. And I was saying my last goodbyes, like, I love you. Kiss. And then,
kissy.
Then my ride drives me home, type of thing.
All right.
That was probably the last time I made out in a vehicle. I was never a big make out in the vehicle or the backseat boogie type of guy, just.
It's a hard one, right?
Yeah,
it only happens so many times. Maybe 10 times in your life.
That's what the 20s are made for, right? That's what your
20s
are made for, making out in weird spots.
And now getting close to your 40s, it's hard to remember the 20s.
Yes. Trick. But that's what those times were for, to do stupid things like that.
All right, now next category. I'm moving into a new category, even though I have some of these refreshers on the back page. But I got a new category is favorites. This first one is your favorite alcoholic beverage.
When it comes to hard alcohol, I'm probably going to go Tito's and ginger ale. I love that one. Or what I call a cruiser is Tito's, a little bit of Sprite. Oh, sorry. Tito's and Sprite with a little bit of orange juice.
Cruiser.
That's a cruiser. I try to, whenever I go to like an establishment, I'll say, I'll get a cruiser. And I know that they're going to say, what is that? So I have to explain it to them. Hoping that will catch on. They'll be like, hey, cruisers are the special tonight. Although we move into my tropical cruiser because one time they were out of orange juice. So I went with the tropical cruiser, which
pineapple juice, right?
Pineapple juice.
Yes, I love it.
Tito's Sprite pineapple juice.
That sounds delicious, dude.
It's refreshing. It's very nice.
We happen to have a handle of Tito's right over here, too.
I think we have orange juice and pineapple juice in the fridge. When it comes to beer, when I'm going like a marathon, I'm just going to slam like 40 brewskis, CLs or Keystone.
Sure.
I might start it off with a couple Sierra Nevadas just to prime the pump. I like, if it's hot, I might go White Claw. I'm not scared of the White Claw,
Okay.
or the Nooners, the High Noon. Get a couple watermelon, pineapple, whatever High Noons. And I'm not scared of red wine. I like a little red wine. So in the wintertime, I like the red wine.
You had some of that earlier.
Although it's 95 degrees out tonight and I was having red wine.
Right? Pinot still, somehow. I don't know how that was happening.
It happens.
All right. So what's your favorite sport to watch or play? You can do either one. Favorite of all the sports, we're looking for one. I know that's the impossible question for anybody.
There's different times in my life when I had different sports that I loved. Right? Growing up, I loved swimming. I loved baseball.
That's why we're asking you on your 39th birthday, because we want to know, when we go back in time, what today's favorite sport is.
You're taking me down memory lane, though. I mean, I got to start from the beginning. I was peaked out at swimming. I loved swimming like in second and third grade. Swimmed on the sea lions. Playing baseball, loved playing baseball, Babe Ruth baseball. I had some good coaches. I thought that would go into my high school. Ended up not really liking the high school coach. We just didn't see eye to eye. So for funsies, you guys were playing volleyball. So for funsies, I thought I'll switch over to volleyball. Ended up loving volleyball.
I funsied loved that shit too. That was amazing for a couple seasons.
Yeah,